Alright guys, last game of the night, welcome back. It is going to be Ojama and Garay Oak. These guys played 5 games in a row, so I assume these are just for fun. And I didn't cherry pick them or sort through them all. There were 5 in a row in the replays. I literally just clicked on the third one, the one right in the middle. Hopefully this is a good game. Let's check it out. Ojama and Garay Oak. Everybody knows Ojama. He is one of the best ADV players and just one of the best players, period. Garay Oak you may be less familiar with, but he's also a very strong SPL level player. He's a lower tier guy, but he does play some solid ADV as well. Ojama had a T-Tar and then a Celebi. Garay Oak led with a Coon and has stuck with it here. There is Leech Seed and Surf respectively. That does not mean that the Coon does not have Ice Beam. He simply chose not to show it there. And the Leech Seed is going to prompt the Coon out, presumably this turn. And it's going to be a Skarm. Leech Seed again from Ojama, since he knew there'd be some kind of switch, and Leech Seed is basically a universal catch-all, pending, of course, another Celebi. Baton Pass, does he have a Mag? He does not. He has a Starmie. And Spike Slayer number 1 does get down, but Skyrim is not going to be able to win this fight with the Leech Seed going on, so he's going to have to get out of the way, and if Ojama wants to spin, he could certainly do so. Here comes Coon. And it's going to be Thunder Wave, just in case Garay had gone for Gengar or something trying to get cute and block the Rapid Spin. That was not the case, and Rapid Spin going to come down now after the Coon eats the Para, which it might be able to get rid of with a rest. That is yet to be determined. We've seen only Calm Mind and Surf, and there is the Calm Mind here. Starmie might have Thunderbolt, but he gets out of the way, makes a safer play to Celebi. And Skarm comes in as well, so this is going to allow Garay to get Alaris Spikes down consequence-free. It is almost impossible that Ojama, just kidding, would have a Magneton here. I guess he's got a Magneton. I'm surprised he didn't do that earlier, but he was very, very safe, and I think he led Garay to believe that he was safe as well. But there is, in fact, a Magneton, and Skarm does, in fact, go down. However, it's going to be a quick revenge kill with Dugtrio to bring us to a 5-5. Ojama, we know for a fact, has a spinner. We've seen not only the spinner, but we've seen spin. So Garay, unless he has a ghost, is not going to be able to protect that one layer of spikes that he did establish. T-Tar is going to come in on this turn. Celebi again just going for Leech Seed is a generic catch-all, and that's going to connect. But because Ojama does not have spikes down, Garay can freely switch out of this as he sees fit, and he's going to opt for a Blissey here. Baton Pass. And it's just going to be Starmie here, which presumably goes Rapid Spin, unless it's Last Poke Gengar for Garay, which seems unlikely. That means he would have no Rock Resist other than Dugtrio, which more or less does not count. And it is in fact just Rapid Spin, and it is just a Seismic Toss. So no more spikes for Garay, and we don't know if Ojama's got spikes or not. They both have unrevealed pokes still. Starmie goes for the Recover, and Seismic Toss, the best thing that Garay can do at the moment. Ojama may just go for T-Wave here. He also might try a Recover again. He can't actually hurt the Bliss, but he's not going to be knocked out by it either. And both players opt for a switch. Celebi comes in, and that's going to be staring down a Coon that he knows he can beat. Leech Seed again. He has seeded into Coon a couple of times, so we're not at that point yet since we're only 16 turns in, but he is going to have to think about the PP at some point since Coon does have pressure. And Leech Seed only has 16 to begin with, so he's going to be depleting those little by little as the battle goes on. T-Tar comes in, that's going to be met by Swampert from Ojama, previously unrevealed. Both guys still have one unrevealed poke. Coon's going to come in, and that's going to take a Hydro Pump just fine. That's going to cost 2 out of his initial 8 PP to do that. So that was actually probably a decent turn for Garay, and he can actually go for Rest here and negate all of this damage, which is probably what he tried to do there, but the full Para kicks in at a bad time. This gives Ojama a nice little out here where he can either crit him or get another full Para to break this game wide open, but Garay just gets the rest off after Ojama opts to switch. T-Tar back in for Ojama, it led the game. He goes Focus Punch here, and that's going to be a huge turn for Ojama, instantly knocking out the opposing tower with a 4x weakness on the unexpected Focus Punch. So this game that was previously really even is now favoring Ojama. However, if that's a Choice Bander who is stuck on Focus Punch, which appears to be the case, Gary is going to identify that, and he's going to kill the T-Tower consequence free. So we're going to have ourselves very quickly another tie game, 4-4. Focus punch, since he's stuck on that with his choice band, and down it goes. 4-4, still one unrevealed for both guys. Not anymore for Ojama. He shows his last poke. We've got a Salamence here, and it is gaining leftovers, as shown by the sand here. The answer going to be Blissey, and hidden power there, 40%. That's got to be HP flying. Any type of special hidden power, such as grass, would not do anywhere near that amount. So it is looking like just a DD Mence. That is, in fact, the case. He shows Dragon Dance here. Blissey goes for Soft Boiled. Whether or not she can kill him here with an Ice Beam, if she has Ice Beam, is yet to be determined. Some Mence are EV to always live in that situation. There's a big hidden power. There's the Ice Beam. And in fact, the Salamence does live, even through the sand. And this could be bad news for Gary. Blissey very well may not live another hidden power. Dugtrio going to be foddered off here. Hidden power going to one-hit KO that. Does Gary have a response? Last poke is Fortress. Interesting. Is he going to try to get him with hidden power, or is he so desperate that he has to blow up on it here? Hidden power 38%. And wow, hidden power bug there maybe, or I guess that could even be hidden power ghost, because yeah, that does neutral damage as opposed to being resisted if it were bug. So that actually might be HP ghost there, taking out Salamence with the aid of a critical hit. Fortress pulls it back. Here comes Bliss. She should be very safe here. Even a critical hit surf at this point wouldn't do it. The only danger that Blissey would be in is a Thunderbolt para, full para, or an immediate Ice Beam freeze. Neither of those things are attempted by Ojama. And Gary going to soft boiled and stabilize. And I think Gary's actually in a very good position now. I think Ojama's going to have a very difficult time breaking through the Blissey at this point. I also think that the Coon, which is currently sleeping, is going to be a threat later in the game because it can wear out those Celebi Leech Seed PP, and once that has gone down, the Coon is very hard to deal with. But like I said, I also think Ojama is going to have a hard time breaking through the Blissey, so this may be a little bit grindy if they opt to play it out, but I think that Gary's in a great position to win this game. Psychic coming down here for Celebi, 12%. The full set has not been shown, but I mean, you've got to think it's just last move, recover. I guess in theory it could just be Giga Drain, and he's using the combined Leech Seed and Giga Drain to get his HP back as opposed to recover. So I mean, the Coon could be nervous about a potential grass attack in the back, but overall it looks to me like Gary is in a great position to win this game. Swampert with the right set could do some damage here. If he's got Focus Punch, that would definitely be a good step, and he does in fact have Focus Punch. Does the Blissey come into it? Doesn't, and the Coon is going to take the focus. Oh man, the Coon takes it really well. Alright, so that really makes it tough for Ojama. The Coon can absorb those focus punches really consistently. 21% is no bueno. It might have very little or zero attack investment, which is not typically the case on this offensive pert set, but it really just isn't doing meaningful damage to what is a very bulky Coon. So he's got subs, so we know the full set here. So we've got Surf, Calm Mind, Sub, and Rest. An interesting set that's seen a bit of a resurgence lately. I've seen a lot of Crow Coon recently. That is obviously not the case here. And it's also interesting that he opted not to bring a phaser, unless I guess the T-Tower maybe could have been the phaser. Skarm is going to have Whirlwind, but it doesn't count. It's a trappable phaser. So Gary is either taking his chances without one, or the T-Tower has Roar. Either or. But Gary does get a substitute off here, which of course is going to block Leech Seed for days, and he's just going to be able to rest here regardless of what the Celebi wants to do. It does not show a grass attack, he just goes for Psychic, which because of the +1 for Coon, does not even break the sub. And this is looking dire for Ojama. He can probably deal with this Coon once or twice, but once that Leech Seed PP is gone, I don't know how he beats this Pokemon. I think the answer is that he doesn't. And I don't see enough offensive presence for Ojama to be able to break through here. I really and truly think that Gary's going to win this game, but let's see it play out. There is the Leech Seed, which will at very least deter Gary from staying in with a Coon this time around and pushing the issue too much. Here comes Fori. The BP is going to bring out Swampert. We have seen most of the set, but not the last move. It could easily just be Ice Beam as the last move. It could also just be Roar or Protect or something like that. I don't know if the last move in this case, no matter what it may be, is overly relevant. And Kuhn is going to switch into Hydro Pump, which it's going to show that he has 6 PP, but he actually has 4 because both of the Hydro Pumps that he's used this game have been into the Kuhn. And an Earthquake does not break the substitute. The Kuhn very, very bulky here. It could very well just be 252, 252. But man, he is just tanking everything. Ice Beam after the Earthquake is going to break the sub barely, but there is nothing preventing him from subbing up again. Focus Punch here is going to try to break it. I don't believe that it will based on the damage numbers that we saw previously. And in fact, it does not break it. So Gary here is going to be safe behind the sub. It will not be broken until next turn. He'll have to decide if he wants to attack or go for a rest. He even stops the Focus Punch here with the Surf, so that's even better. It's going to be a wasted turn there for Ojama. He does get lefties at least, whereas Gary doesn't. But not a lot of ground, if any, gained there by Ojama. Selby comes in at this point, and it's just going to be another Surf, 18%. At this point, Gary is presumably going to rest. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a broken record, but like I said, I don't see a way for Ojama to deal with the Kuhn. This might be a little bit grindy. Ojama seems content to actually play the game out as opposed to just concede, and that's certainly his prerogative to do. But it's looking good to me for Mr. Garay Oak, and Leech Seed going to miss there. Let's see, this says that he has 7 PP. I don't know how many he actually has, but I mean at least probably 4 or 5 of them have been at the Kuhn, and there's going to be a second Leech Seed miss in a row. So those 2 Leech Seed misses are going to cost him 4 PP. He can't have more than like 1 or 2 left. He's got to be almost depleted on the Leech Seeds. Maybe he's completely out. And at this point, Ojama is going to concede. I do not think that's premature. It might look it on paper because it's 3-3, but really, truly, this is almost unwinnable for Ojama. I think that if this plays out, Gary wins damn near 100% of the time, and I think that's a fine spot to concede. So Garay Oak is going to take down the mighty Ojama. And it's been a pretty good night for games. I thought that all 4 of the games that I narrated tonight were relatively close, relatively decent, had their own entertainment value, had a couple big names in there. Hopefully, top to bottom, it's all good content. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the night. I will see you guys soon for more content. At the very latest, it'll be Sunday for Callus Fight Night, where you guys are going to see defending champion Dexa against challenger Bad Dummy. But perhaps I will have more stuff between now and then. We'll see. Either way, thanks for watching, and please do leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys. Sub to the channel if you've not done so already. I will see you guys soon.